those Filipinas out there who are now thinking, or who wants to have any idea.
Hi everybody.
Hi everyone. Shalom Nicolam.
Shalom.
My name is Nalyn.
And I'm Alex.
Okay.
So you can call me Sasha. I know that the account says Nalyn&Sasha.
Yeah, I like Sasha.
So for those who don't know the connection between Alex and Sasha, it's a Russian thing. My first language is Russian. And in Russia, Sasha is the short version of the name Alexander or Alexandra. For some reason, in English and French, Sasha has become its own female name, but in Russia it's actually dual gender and it's directly related to Alexander, so that's in case you're wondering. Now today's video is going to be about
today's video is about our wedding in Tbilisi, Georgia. Why we choose Tbilisi, Georgia, and is it recognized in Israel?
That's right. So why did we choose Tbilisi, Georgia?
First of all, we choose Tbilisi, Georgia because it's faster and it's cheaper actually. So I am from the Philippines and Sasha here is from Israel. So for me to be here, to live here, I need residency visa, and we choose as on my previous video before, I discussed about the requirements of the two types of partnership visa here, and we choose the marriage visa.
Now Georgia is the easiest visa you can get. It costs about $20. You book it online on a website.
Yes.
You send the passport scan and the picture, and it arrives in 1 week.
Yes.
As we were told, you remember, the visa refusal to Georgia almost never happens except Chinese.
Yes.
Why Chinese?
Chinese because normally they submitted the visa or passport picture as selfie. And, it's impossible because visa picture should have a size requirement. How it's formal, it's clear, and normally Chinese submitted selfie.
So the other reason why we chose Georgia over everything else is how easy it is to get married.
Yes.
There is no bureaucracy. You do not need a CNMR or any proof that you are not married in your country of origin. You do not actually need anything except your passports.
That's right.
And if you book with an agency, they do the translation, the verification of translation, and the actual registration, and give you the driver to and from your hotel. All that under $350.
It's very convenient. And for us, we have the Atlantis agency. It's called Atlantis.
That's right. It's called Atlantis Travel. It's a travel agency in Israel that caters mostly to the Russian-speaking tourists and Israelis. And they did everything for us without a hitch.
Yes.
It took us 14 business days to get the marriage certificate after we got married, and that was it. And of course the third reason is Georgia is perfect for the honeymoon.
Yes, it's a very nice place. It's not at that time it's not winter, so it's hotter than the Philippines. I'm a little bit shocked that I actually had a sunburn in my nose, and I have a very skin tone that is very do you call that? Sunproof. but I'm not some.
Nothing is sunproof at
yes.
40 degrees.
Yes, it's 40 degrees, and it's unlike Philippines that it's a little bit like hotter and dry climate.
Yes, if you look closely at our wedding pictures, you can see that Nalyn's nose is sunburned.
Yes, the wedding picture.
But
okay.
Georgia is beautiful. It's a mountain country. Don't confuse it with Georgia in the United States. We are talking about Georgia in the Caucasus, between the Black Sea and the Caspian Sea.
Near Turkey?
Near Turkey, near
yes.
Armenia. And it's a beautiful country. It's cheap. It has very nice...
It's their foods, yes, their foods is a little bit, I like their foods. It's similar to Filipino taste. As for me, I like it because it's not so European, it's so Filipino. There is like a similarity. I don't know for those other Filipinas who try their foods already, but for me, I really like it. For those Filipinas out there who are now thinking or who wants to have any idea where to get married, and Israel Misrad Hapnim also will recognize the marriage certificate. And if you don't want any complications to get the requirements, because in Tbilisi you only need passport. So for you to get married, passport, your partner's passport and your passport, and that's it.
Yes, two things to be aware of about marriage in Georgia. For Filipinos specifically, there is no Philippines embassy in Georgia. The closest embassy, which is responsible for Georgia, is the one in Ankara in Turkey. So after you get married, you need to apply to your embassy here. They will tell you what to do. Mostly they tell you to contact the embassy in Ankara, right?
For my application in Misrad Hapnim, I was not required to submit the marriage certificate that has already been registered in the Philippines. No, it's not the case. But to make it sure, after you will get the marriage certificate from Tbilisi, Georgia, you can contact right away the Embassy of Philippines in Ankara, Turkey, and they will give you all instructions what to do for the marriage to be registered in our country.
Yes. The other thing is that if you change your status in Israel from single to married, it takes them something like half a year, 6 months to verify, or so they say, that your marriage is legit. There is probably some bureaucratic reasons why they do it. There used to be an arrangement here to marry in the embassy of Paraguay. Like you register your marriage in Paraguay without actually going there. And people probably used it a lot for not so good reasons. So nowadays they make you wait until they change your status from single to married. It takes 6 months. I don't know if they're actually verifying anything or just making you wait. I do know that you need to remind them of yourself every now and then, because in my case, they appear to have forgotten about me, and until I contacted them again and bugged them a few times,
yeah, Mr.
they did not change my status.
Always. Yes, that's true. Yeah, and for all the Filipinos out there who really have if you are disappointed right now, if you are your hopes are down, no, don't worry. And the process is a little bit as they say, annoying. It's slow, but if the relationship is real, don't worry. They will know it, and everything will be okay. You will be given a visa.
Oh, one last thing. If you're feeling like splashing out a little bit, being fancy, it's marriage after all. You might want to make it a little more memorable. You have 3 options to get married in Tbilisi. You can marry like we did in the Justice House. It's the equivalent of the population registry of Georgia. It is also known as the mushroom house because on the outside the building looks like it's covered with big metal mushrooms. The second option, more expensive, is to marry on Mount Tasminda. It's it's a mountain in the middle of Tbilisi, which used to be holy for the Georgians, and it has a very nice amusement park on top and the restaurant, and it's a nice place to get married if you feel like, you know, spicing things up a little. And the most expensive and the fanciest option is to marry in Signachi, the city of love, as the Georgians call it. It's a small town in Kachetia, the winemaking region of Germany. You can go there.
Not Germany.
Oh, sorry, Georgia.
The winemaking.
It's a winemaking region of Georgia, very famous for the quality of its grapes and wines. And you can get married there. You can have champagne. You can have a speech by the Georgian official. We chose to forego that because we don't understand Georgian and that speech would not do us much. We went to Signachi separately on an organized tour. And now it really is it about marrying in Georgia. So these were Alex and Nalyn. Good luck, everybody.
Yes.
Stay safe, and thank you.